knights want to get. Like on the other map, if you get a Nidus up there, you can really effectively contain your opponent. But we'll just have to see in this game what's going to happen. Here in the bottom right, from Team XUSA, we have the purple Zerg, Hephaistas.
Yep, the god of blacksmithing. And on the top left, we have from Knights Gaming. It's gonna go ahead and be Sjaak.
So
I really like that name, and I'm guessing he's called Sjaak.
Oh, you mean, oh yeah, his actual name. Yeah,
Yes.
there's a pretty good chance of that. I was thinking of Hephaistas at first, but if you're the god of blacksmithing, then it's dark times because really, well, of course, there's still blacksmiths these days, but not as much as there used to be.
Not as much as there used to be, but at least we pretend to be blacksmith in like series like Game of Thrones and movies about knights, so it's not that bad, I guess.
Yeah, and medieval fairs, people go for fun and stuff, and
Yeah, there's actually a lot of things where they like set up camps, like the Middle Ages, close to a castle site, where everybody dresses up, like blacksmiths and stuff like that. And then it's no longer Sjaak, but it's Sjaak, the warrior knight.
yeah, you get those role-playing, events, festivals sometimes, like Elf Fantasy Fair in the Netherlands is one of those. But if we get into this game, we see probably another 15 hatch here from Hephaistas, another bit of greedy play. So he really seems to either be bent on doing the same build again. But we'll never know. Sjaak taking, going to be able to scout this quite early. And if we look at this build, he's probably going to throw down a Nexus first, actually.
Yep, I was already pointing it out with my mouse that he has a lot of minerals, a lot of probes queued up, and it is going to be a Nexus first, unless he is just trying to metagame the casters, which would be awesome if somebody actually on purpose just tried to metagame the casters. We also see a hatchery coming down from Hephaistas, and on this map, once again though, for the Protoss player, it is going to be quite hard to defend that natural because of the wide open area in front of your base, and it's not even a ramp. It's more of an open area like you used to see on the other big map. I'm trying to guess the name of it. Help me out here.
I don't even know which one. Oh, you mean the one we were just playing on?
No, not that map. The four-player map previously.
Whirlwind?
No, not Whirlwind.
Uh,
It's been taken out of the map pool.
I can't quite for sure. I mean, the official or the ladder map pool?
It was a ladder map. I'm pretty sure someone's going to say it in the chat soon. But it also had a wide open area and there was no ramp. There was a ramp a little bit behind it and the third place was covered in rocks. They removed the rocks later on.
Oh, you mean Coral City, I think.
Not Corehole City, sadly.
Oh. Then I don't know. Because
not Summoner's Rift. We'll get it eventually. We do see kind of an awkward wall going up from Sjaak. Like I said, on this map it is hard. Total Remoter, thank you so much.
Oh, you mean that?
Titan
okay.
SC, you are my Titan for the evening saying that. And it is going to be a gateway, but there's already a forge in base in anticipation of some sort of early pool. And that's a really safe build actually, especially on this map. Now you see the way the photon cannon is laid down, it will not protect lengths from running in everywhere. So Hephaistas could be a little bit annoying here.
If you watched any of my previous casts, you know that there was a theme in one of the casts which I did, which is called doing the same build multiple times in a row, literally. We saw a lot of games where players, especially if they won the first map, they would do the second game and do the exact same build once again. So far, the only person who I've seen do this so far is Grubby, but so far there's almost a complete lack of that. However, Hephaistas seems to be doing the exact same build which he did in the previous game, despite losing, mostly because of it.
Yep, it's it's Sjaak not opting to go the same build. Grubby did do that and it worked flawlessly for him. Now I think though, if you play the same build a lot of times, I don't know if you did that during your cast as well. I have not watched them. I promise you, I'm gonna watch a few of those after this weekend. And anyway, if you do a build and you win a lot with it and you practice it, it does become a lot stronger. And you always have that one favorite build. Everybody has it. And if that's the opening build, then you might just want to go ahead and do it again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the thing about those builds is usually you will see a lot of players around mid-masters, high-masters, just having some builds or which doesn't end up being a whole lot, which they feel very comfortable with, and will resort to when they have to play tournament games, because then you want to play your best. Interestingly, though, we do have a Dark Shrine going up for Sjaak, which I think is a very good way to mix things up, seeing as players Well, his opponent is getting Lair, so he will have Overseers. But the point is that the Dark Shrine is quite cheap these days. So making it is a very good idea because the costs, the potential cost risk balance of it is very high.
Now, one of the things I would like to see from Hephaistas, something I see from more and more Zerg players, is getting from the hatchery tech the Overlord speed at the same time you're getting your Lair, and then getting that quick scout off. Just before the 8 minutes hit, you'll have a speed Overlord, and you can just fly over the base of the Protoss, see absolutely everything. And he would have scouted these buildings coming up as well as the Dark Shrine. That would have been a huge up for him, but once again he's going to be playing a little bit in the dark. Now, noticeably, Hephaistas is still on 2 bases as well. He's playing very defensively. He's throwing down 2 Spine Crawlers, 1 already finished, and he has a lot of Queens. And he's also adding an Infestation Pit. So there could be some sort of Nidus network coming up. And I think that Wyman is just giving himself a high five right now, because I think that Hephaistas is actually doing the same build twice in a row. And this time he's going to get the chance to actually throw down that Nidus. And we already see 1 Overlord moving into the main base, scouting that Dark Shrine nicely up there. And also 1 Overlord later on plays that Nidus network.
So it looks like Hephaistas is in a really good position scouting that. He should be getting at least 2 Overseers, at the least. Okay, he already has 1. And yeah, 1 in Spore Crawlers, as well as Spines in his main. So he's really anticipating some DT aggression here. DT's at the front actually being thwarted by this Overseer, Spines, Queens. He's saying, you can touch this.
You can touch this indeed, and the Dark Templars are warded off. And yeah, Hephaistas is gonna get a chance to catch his opponent off guard this time. He's loading up a lot of things into the Nidus network, and we will get a nice ping on the minimap when it is gonna be put down, and it is gonna be in front of the base, not inside of the base. So he's gonna use this as a reinforcing Nidus, and he could throw down some creep tumors with the Queens and get that creep straight in the face of the Protoss. How do you think this is gonna pan out right here? Because there will be swarm hosts following this up after the links pop out.
Big deal here. Sjaak has a 3rd, and it's quite early, and he's already managed to transfer probes there, some of which might actually get cut out. He's morphed the DTs into an Archon, which are going to be quite important. And now that's where the Locusts are going to start hammering on this wall. And they're actually going to catch all of these probes. Oh, not they died before that happened. So Sjaak, he needs to wall up. He needs to throw down cannons. Transitioning to robotics, into attack with Colossi seems to be the correct choice as far as I can tell. Oh, these Locusts are actually just sitting there doing nothing.
Yep, they were just chilling and waiting to die, and they managed to do that though. One thing to notice, he didn't send any drones along with this. Usually you see 1 or 2 drones to make Spore Crawlers. He opted not to do that, but this is a lot of swarm hosts.
Oh, Sjaak. Oh, okay, he's somewhat chasing the probes, not getting any kills. I think, especially with there's only 8 swarm hosts, this might open up a bit of a window for Sjaak to actually just jump on these swarm hosts and try to pick them off, because the bigger this number of swarm hosts gets, and the bigger advantage the Zerg will be, of course.
Yep, swarm hosts are a huge investment though, they're quite expensive. Even though it's only 9 right now, that's still a lot of money invested in them. And these Immortals will make short work of these swarm hosts, and are doing a good job so far. Good force fields as well from Sjaak, warding this off quite nicely. Also a time warp over the force field, because if you can't move through it, at least you'll be slower hugging the wall.
Okay, so at this point he's warping in Zealots to just kind of tank. He's also getting Colossi as well as 2+2, which will be really effective in taking out these swarm hosts. At this point there's still 9 on the map. Number has been significantly reduced, but at this point the cybernetic score is actually looking to fall.
Yep, he's also losing a few probes. I would like to see him continue focus on cybernetic score.
Oh,
he is, however, attacking a Colossus, and you can see this the really high DPS from the Locust displayed there, as they almost take out that Colossus in just a few shots. And this is a war that the Protoss can't win, because these units costing nothing right now, and he is taking significant damage.
Yeah, the best way for Sjaak, I feel, to deal with this is to just do a big warp in with something like DTs, high DPS units, and try to flank this, this army as soon as those Locusts move the other way. Because in a straight-up fight with this amount of Locusts and Swarm hosts, it's almost unholdable, really. Nexus is already down to fastest shield, past 700 HP. Really, the Protoss is in dire straits at this point.
Yep, and Nexus at the natural is was shooting for a little bit there with the fallen overcharge, I think, but that even didn't help that much. Now it also is pretending to be a hatchery because there's already creep in the natural expansion. Did Hephaistas ever scout the third base? So yep, he did, and he's sending Locust there as well. So Sjaak is going to be cut off with his army between the two bases, and he will just be stuck in his main for a long time.
18 swarm hosts at this point.
Yep.
You know, I've seen this strat before, like I mentioned, and it's such a cool strat to see someone pull off because you can just almost picture the huge amount of panic on the face of the Protoss as he sees these waves of waves after you know, Locusts come in and just do so much damage. Keep in mind though that not all swarm hosts are actually synchronized, so this, you know, they will sort of trigger in one by one, which means the Colossi will actually be very effective in killing off these Locusts.
Yep. Colossi are really good against Locusts. That's just a fact. It's like the #1 choice against them. But he still has to get close to pick off these swarm hosts, and he's not being able to do that right. The Queen's in a really good position. He also put on a spine crawler. I like to see that. And the Locusts also benefit from the creep being a lot faster. You can see them rushing over to the Protoss army, and he doesn't really have time to move fast from attacking the Locust into attacking the swarm host, and he's still so heavy contained right now. The thing I would like to see though is an extra base from Hephaistas, because he is stacking up minerals right now.
Yeah, apparently that's not part of the strat, even though he can easily afford it at 1500 minerals. Well, Sjaak really needs to do another warping to reinforce here. Warping install. He's actually made a second cybernetic score in his main. That's so smart.
Yep, made a second cybernetic score
on
in his main.
gates.
That's nice.
He's either short on gates, and you know he's up to 3 Colossi, but he's not making any more for some reason. He could easily be up to 6 right now if he had thrown down a second Robo Bay and continued production.
But this army from the Protoss isn't getting bigger though. He's lost all of the Immortals, he's lost some Stalkers. The 3 Colossi were there a while back, and they are also taking damage right now. This army is getting smaller right now, Wyman. And the army from the Zerg, it's absolutely huge at this point, even adding Corruptors to add insult to injury. And I think that Hephaistas is going to take this game, and Sjaak thinks the same.